Welcome in. Just gonna be a quick one today. I wanted to talk about how when you're worrying, you're actually wasting time. When you're worrying about something, as opposed to taking action on something or doing something actually productive or constructive, you're actually wasting time. Instead of you acting and doing something, you're just worrying and wishing and panicking and having anxiety about something. And that's not going to help anything. It's not going to help you to worry. It's not going to help you to be afraid and fearful. And this is coming from someone who was a big worrier, was so anxious and so freaked out about every single thing. Like, I was worrying all the time. And the thing is that it didn't actually help anything. It actually made things worse. It actually made things worse. And I think that's something that the idle mind likes. The idle mind likes you to worry and freak out and try to control things and focus so much on little tiny details when in reality, those things don't really matter, you know? It doesn't really matter. I'm just putting a poll on here. And I wanted you to just think about that. Like, do you worry a lot? Are you someone who worries a lot? Is it productive? Has worrying actually gotten you anything positive? Has worrying actually gotten you closer to your goal? Has worrying actually improved your life in any way? Has worrying actually benefited you in any way? And the thing is, like, the way our brain works, if you give your brain, if you give your brain something to worry about, it's going to worry about it. It's going to worry about it. Honestly, hello. If you give your brain something to worry about, your brain is going to fixate on that thing and it's going to find all these things and all these reasons why it needs to worry about it. So stop worrying so much. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about things. Don't worry about all the small things, because you're going to just give yourself stress, anxiety, and it's not going to help you get anywhere. It's not going to help you achieve anything. Hello. Welcome in. Hi, Afan. Hi, Modern Constructions. Hi, Daishi. Hi, Wilder. When you're worrying too much about small things, your mind is just going to keep finding new things to worry about. Hello. Hi, more FVIJA. When you're worrying about things, your mind will keep going. So if you're someone who worries a lot, which it looks like most of us here are people who worry about, and I used to be like that too, and I'm still working on it. But what I realize is, like, worrying doesn't get you anything but more problems. So instead of worrying, what we can do instead is actually try to figure out solutions. Thank you so much for the compliments. I appreciate it. Thank you. Just instead of worrying, try to figure out solutions, how to make things better, how to actually bring about the change that you want to bring about. You know what I'm saying? Worrying doesn't help. Worrying is a waste of time. So, okay, if you have something that you're trying to figure out, okay, I need to fix this problem. Okay, so instead of worrying, you can say, what can I do to fix this problem? What can I do today, now? What can you do to fix your problem? Worrying is not a solution. Worrying doesn't help anything. Worrying doesn't help you get anything or anywhere. I'm just being honest. If you're worrying, you're not doing anything but making things worse. You're making things worse. So for those of us in here who worry a lot, right, which most of us are worrying a lot, realize that worrying does nothing but make things worse. What you can actually do to make things better is create a plan to fix that problem. Or sometimes the problem is not even a real problem. We're just making it a problem in our mind, right? Because our minds love to create problems. So instead of worrying on fixing, good night, instead of fixing the problem, we can say, is it really a problem or am I just being dramatic? That happens sometimes too. We are fixating on something that's not even a problem. It's not even a concern. And we just say, like, it's not even important to worry about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not even something to worry about. There are things that, yeah, we need to put our attention on it and fix it, right? But there are things that it's really not a problem. Sometimes it just stems from us trying to be perfectionists and us trying to fix everything and have the answer to everything. But you don't have to. Wow, a lot of people worry a lot, you see? That's the problem that we have is we're worrying so much, but sometimes we're not acting and actually fixing the things that we're worrying about. We are worrying, but we're not fixing the problem. So we need to work on fixing the problem. If it is a real problem, thank you so much for the love. Sometimes it's not a real problem. Sometimes there is nothing to fix. Sometimes it's just us figuring or trying to create things to figure out. And sometimes it's like, maybe we just chill. Sometimes I used to be more worried when things were like calm. I'd be like, okay, if things are calm now, then maybe a problem is gonna happen. And it's like, wow, can you imagine like the calm and the peace is now a problem. Me being calm and me having peace is now a problem. And so I wanted to come on here and share that message. Like, if you're someone who worries a lot, stop. Stop. Stop worrying. Stop. Yes, they project their filth onto others. I like that. There is a lot of projection going on. People will just tell you stuff because they want you to feel and absorb what they're feeling, but you don't have to. You don't have to feel what people are projecting. Let them sit in that filth, right? You don't have to accept that. You don't have to go deep into it and try to like, accept what they're giving you, whatever filth they're giving you. You don't have to accept that because people will project exactly the lone wolf. That's exactly right. People will project their filth onto you. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to. Hi, hey, Priyanshu. Hello. So you guys, if you really love yourself, which you should, right? Because if you don't love you, who's gonna love you? If you really love yourself, you will stop worrying so much and start taking action, figuring out if it's actually a real problem. Because a lot of times it's not really a real problem. It's not. And if it's not a real problem, why are you worrying about it? Why are you making problems where there are no problems? Why are you trying to fixate your mind and give your mind more problems to work? Because like your brain has only so much energy. So why would you waste your energy on things that are useless instead of using that same energy to bring something about that is worth your time? Right? Instead of worrying so much, let's say, for example, you're worried that you don't have a lot of friends or something like that, right? Then you need to stop worrying about not having friends and then do things that's going to make you actually have friends. Like a lot of times we're complaining and trying to be worried and scared and all this, right? But we're not even doing any actions to solve any problems. So, of course, we're going to be worrying and we're going to keep worrying because we're not doing anything. But if you just like put that same energy into saying, like, I'm going to try to solve this problem, I'm going to actually do something that's going to help me figure out what I'm trying to figure out. If you put that same energy into that, you can actually solve your problem, right? You can solve your problem. Instead of worrying about it, you can actually use that energy, solve that problem, then boom, you don't have something to worry about. Energy is so key, like protecting your energy and knowing what your energy is for. It's not to be wasted. It's to protect you and make you better. Hello, Juniru Uza. I hope I said that right. You have to know what your energy is for. It's not to be wasted. It's precious. And it's something that you need to treat like gold, because it is gold. Your energy is gold. And I want you to really thrive. And for you to thrive, you are not going to focus on things that are not important. So tell me some things that you worry about. Write it in the chat. What are some things that you're worrying about? Some things I used to worry about was my perception, other people's perception of me. And now when I say it, it's funny. When I say it, it sounds kind of stupid. Like, I used to worry about what people think about me. That sounds dumb. But in the moment when I was so worried about what people think, like, it sounded like it was the biggest fact of the world, right? Like, I have to worry about what people think about me and all this stuff. And I mean, that comes from like people pleasing tendencies, right? Which, if you know me, this channel is all about glowing up, living your best life, especially if you're a mom, loving yourself, being your best self. And so in that light of being your best self, you're not going to try to people please. You're not going to worry about what people think about you. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. What you think about yourself is more important. What you think and say about yourself is more important than what anyone thinks. And I want you to take that with you as you're going through this weekend. Think about like what you can do to worry less, and what action can you take to make your problems so they're not a lot of problems. Like, they're not actually problems, you know? They're actually things that you can fix. They're things that have solutions, because if you have solution-oriented mind, if your mind is all about solutions, you're not thinking about problems. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you on the next live. Take care.